Alright, welcome to technically what is part 3 of me exploring old Colony Line stations. This is specifically a project to explore some of the old branches that used to exist on their own. So, we're going to be starting with the Dedham Branch, going to the Millis Branch, Lexington Branch, and then finishing off with the Central Mass Branch. I realized in previous parts that my camera work was a little faulty. It was kind of dizzying at times, so I must have been too distracted by my surroundings to focus on it. Usually I'm very good about that kind of stuff. I'm very particular about my camera work. I like it to be good, so this time I'm going to make sure I focus more on getting some good shots instead of just spinning around like I was. So hopefully that didn't cause any motion sickness for a lot of people, but either way, we're going out again. It'll be better this time. And we're going to start at Stonehaven today, and it's going to be a 2-day thing. We're going to end in South Bolton, and then tomorrow we're going to start in West Boylston and end in Northampton. So here we go. Alright, here we are starting off at Stonehaven. This is on the Dedham Branch, heading towards Dedham. So the station was located over here on the right side of this fence. You can see down there where the tracks probably used to be laid in this little clearing. And the station itself is located down there. Now it is a little creek with what looks like, I think, sewage or just rainwater flow. Probably rainwater. A little pipe down there. But yep, that's Stonehaven. Alright, so following along the same pathway under a bridge is where East Dedham used to be. So, right there, see if we can get a better view. Right there is where the station platform used to be, and you can see the now dirt path where the tracks used to be laid as well. Went right under the bridge, and now there's a creek. The last station on the Dedham Branch is Dedham itself, but I've already been to that station in part 2, so I'll be moving on now to the Millis Branch. Alright, here's the first stop on the Millis Branch. The Millis Branch is what connects up to the Dedham line at Dedham Junction. At Dedham Junction, looking outbound, the track will split to the right and to the left. When it splits to the right, it goes to Dedham Center and Dedham Heights, which are currently active on the Dedham line. But when it splits to the left, there is a track that used to be there. That was the Millis Branch. Here is where the tracks used to be laid. And over here is where the Charles River Station used to be. As you can see now, it is a walking and biking trail. They even still have the old railroad crossing signs. And now it is a crosswalk. And right here is where the platform for Charles River used to be. Alright, here we are at Dover. This little building right here is now a Dunkin' Donuts, but it used to serve as the station building. The old tracks are still here, including the railroad crossing sign. See it right there. So this is what the station used to be right here. Now it's a Dunkin' Donuts. Railroad crossing sign here. The old tracks, you can still see the outline of them, including some of the rail going into the woods there. There's one right here at my feet, and tracks continue that way. Also a very nice outdoor seating area. Alright, here is Farm Street. Railroad crossing is still here. Tracks are still on the road. Clearly not been used anymore. But the tracks do go all the way down into the woods still. And the station itself used to be located right here. Very small one. Again, tracks go all the way down into the woods. But it's very overgrown. Hasn't been used in probably decades, or not more than that even. And this is where the parking lot used to be for the cars. And it's located on Farm Street itself, so that's why it's called that, obviously. Alright, so here's Medfield Junction. There's a railroad crossing right there. It looks like it might still get used by freight occasionally, but over here is where the station used to be. And right now there's a construction zone, so I'm not going to get too close, but you can see the rails over here. And the station used to be located right about here. Alright, here is Millis. The title of the branch. Not the final stop though. There's still 2 more after this, but I could only find one of them. And we'll get to that next, but this is the building. Very nice. I'm not sure if it's completely abandoned or not. There is a mailbox here still. But inside and around, it doesn't look like anyone's really here ever. But either way, very cool. Yeah, it looks abandoned in there. Here's the tracks. Very, very old tracks. Very old station platform. Railroad crossing here as well. One of the tracks stops there, the other one keeps going. There's the title, Millis. The staircase goes up to the 2nd floor there. And there we have it, one of the oldest stations in the state. Alright, this is Medway. Used to be where the station lot and platform was located. Looks like the tracks are no longer here, but I believe it used to be located here. Still a dirt path there that's been made into a road. And we got some strong winds today as well, as I'm sure it's been evident in the photo clips as well. Yeah, this is Medway. There's one last stop on the Millis Branch called West Medway. However, I don't know where it is. So this is where I'll be finishing on the Millis Branch. And next we will be doing the Lexington Branch. Alright, so this is the Reformatory Station. This is where it used to be located. There's not much evidence of a railroad left. This was the western branch of the Lexington, the western section of the Lexington Branch. It branches off down at Bedford Springs. This is where the tracks used to be, right in here. No sign of them anymore, but the station itself used to be right along here. And down there where all those cars are parked. My mistake, it actually branches off at Bedford. Bedford Springs is on the eastern side of the Lexington Branch. Reformatory Station was the only one I was able to find on the western edge, or western link of the Lexington Branch. Wasn't able to find everything along here either. That goes for most of the routes, but I was able to find most of them, so I'll be visiting them. Alright, first stop on the eastern section of the Lexington Branch. This is Billerica. Not a trace of the station or tracks, but we are nearby the Lowell line, which is still active. But right here is where the station used to be, and it has been since converted into a quiet residential area. Alright, this is South Billerica. Train tracks used to go right through here. This here is the narrow gauge rail trail. Goes down all the way through the woods. This is where the tracks used to be laid. Now it's a dirt walking path. And I'm assuming bikes could probably get in there too. And the station itself used to be right there where my car is. And that's South Billerica. Alright, here is where the Bedford Springs station used to be located. Right here. Still along the narrow gauge rail trail, which goes down over there and over there as well. It's right next to the Fawn Lake Conservation Area. Town of Bedford, 1979, according to the sign here. Over here is Fawn Lake. I'm gonna check it out because it looks pretty. It is indeed quite nice. Still got some ice. Alright, here is Bedford. We have several things to check out here. This used to be kind of a junction station area, it looks like. We have a building over here that has the old clock on the top. However, I don't think that's, it's not working. It's not the right time. It's about noon now. And then here we have this building. It says Bedford on the front of it, on the top there. I just saw some people come out of it, so it might be a museum of some kind. Or a antique shop. Here's Bedford Railroad Depot, 1874. Railway Express Agency. Just a little cart to move luggage. Oh, it's a barber shop. Over here, at least. Here's a little thing about the station from the past, April 1st, 1951. Get a better, there's a lot of glare there, but I believe this is the Minuteman commuter bike path, which is where the tracks used to be. Here's the back of the building. If we head down here, I think this was the Bedford station itself. What I was just looking at might have been some additional buildings for shelter, or maybe they changed things in the past when they had tracks going different directions. But a nice little treat here. We have a passenger rail car from the olden days sitting at what used to be the station. Boston and Maine Railroad. Ooh, still really windy. Yep, so here's the, maybe the original track, not sure, but nonetheless, there's an old car sitting on it. It says Boston and Maine on the side. There's another luggage carrier. Here's the station building. It says Bedford Depot Park was Billerica and Bedford Railroad Engine House. Looks like there was a shop inside. Yep. So obviously this wasn't the original platform because the train is firmly against the wood here. But it looks like inside the train itself as well is its own antique shop. I'm just trying to get a nice view of the store here. It's hard to see with the glare, but looking inside it looks like there might be a few railroad antiques. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's Bedford. Alright, here is North Lexington. So, here is the Minuteman commuter bikeway. Still following along that. You can see it took place at the tracks. This is where the crossing used to be. And the station itself used to be located right here. Alright, here used to be the Lexington train station. Now is the Lexington Historical Society. But again, here we have the words depot being thrown around. Barbershop of the depot. Look at that, another barbershop. So apparently hairdressers really enjoyed taking over train stations on the Lexington Branch. But here we are still along the Minuteman commuter bike path or bikeway. And this is where the station itself used to be. I'm not sure if this is original and it's just been kept up, but that would be a pretty cool station stop in a little underpass here. But yep, that is Lexington. Alright, here we are at the old station location for Monroe. Still along the Minuteman commuter bikeway. Here is the path. And right here is where the station used to be located. Alright, we're coming up on Pierce's Bridge. Got a sign here for the Minuteman bikeway. Come down this path here and we join back up with the Minuteman bikeway. Hop up on here. Station used to be located right down there. See if I can't get a better focus on that. Right there, right under the bridge. And the tracks just extend all the way down there. And down under Pierce's Bridge. Alright, here is East Lexington. Back here by the Minuteman commuter bikeway again. Right behind the fence here. This is now owned by businesses, but the station itself used to be located right here. I'm pretty sure this is not the original building, but this spot right here is now the Colonial Professional Center. Alright, over here is Arlington Heights. So the stairs come down for the bike path, but may have also been used for coming down to the station platform as well. Still on the Minuteman bikeway here. So the tracks used to go right underneath these bridges here, all the way down, and the platform itself used to be located right here along the parking lot. And that's Arlington Heights. Alright, we're coming up on Brattle, or Brattles. Still on the Minuteman bikeway. Tracks used to come over this bridge here. And the station was located right here. It's now a business. Pretty cool. Alright, here is Arlington Center, still along the bike trail. Station used to be located right here. And now it's a cute little business area and residential. Alright, here is the station of Lake Street. Still along the Minuteman bike path here. Goes through these backyards of residential property, and the station itself used to be right here. You can actually still somewhat see the old edge of it right here. Alright, so coming up on West Somerville, or Somerville, it's located between the Savings Bank and the Davis MBTA station. So here is Davis Square. Over there is the Davis Rutland Station. And West Somerville used to be located there. I believe it was not underground, however, they must have made the tunnels after and then built the subway. Because this area doesn't look like it had any trains in it. Alright, so here at Lexington Park. It's a playground and mini basketball court. And back here is the Somerville Community Path, where the tracks used to be, and this is where the station Somerville Highlands used to be located. Here's a look at the path. And that completes the Lexington Branch. There is a couple more stops, maybe I think one or two more. However, I'm saving those for a different project because those are located along the active Lowell line. So begins our journey west on the Central Mass Branch. First stop here is Waltham North. Used to be located right here. It has since been completely taken away, no signs of it left. The only evidence is located across the street over here. The tracks that used to exist are still there. Go all the way into the woods. Very overgrown, but nonetheless, there they are. One thing I forgot to mention was that I am not starting at the beginning of the Central Mass branch. There are a couple stations that I will be saving for along the active Fitchburg line. So I'll be exploring those at a later date and catching trains going through those. So for now, we're just going to continue west and see what we can find. Okay, here is Waltham Highlands. So the tracks go way into the woods there. Still here, but very weathered. This is some of the oldest track I've seen so far in terms of still being out in the open. Have some plants around it. Station itself is right here. I believe this is an insurance company now that owns this building. But yeah, this is it. Pretty neat. Tracks end at the road further. They do continue through the woods though, but they don't go over the road anymore. Alright, and here is the peaceful location of Weston. I have a feeling a lot of this branch is going to be nice and peaceful through Central Mass. Most of it is in wilderness or low populated areas. Keyword is most. There's another station in Weston also called Kendall Green, and that is serviced by the Fitchburg line still. But this is where the Central Mass line used to service. This is the Central Mass Rail Trail. We'll be following this most of the way. One of those cases where the tracks were replaced by the path, but we're standing on a track right now. Look at that. Old station platform. Wow, that is very old. That might be one of the older ones. Yep, the tracks are right here. Seems a little bit of a wider grade than what we see on the main line still. Very cool. Wow, that is old. Alright, continuing along the Mass Central Rail Trail, we have Cherry Brook. This was where the Cherry Brook station was located and replaced by the trail. Alright, continuing down the Mass Central Rail Trail, we are at Tower Hill. Nice long stretch of path here where the rail used to be. Goes all the way down that way too. The station itself was located right here in this little dirt patch and rocks. The nice long extended view all the way down there too. Alright, here we are at Wayland. The old station building has been converted into a gift shop. Gift shop, maybe some antiques in there. The tracks are still here. At least for a little bit there, and then here's the station, the view, the Wayland Depot. It's the name of the shop now. This is what it looks like on the side. And you can see the tracks come all the way down there, curve off to the left, and then keep going. And there's the rail trail that continues right there, and then off to the left and then to the right after the tracks cross over. So So here is the railroad continuing. The station of East Sudbury should be on the other side over here. Obviously it's not here anymore. There's even some trees down on the track here. But the station used to be probably most likely on this side over here. You can actually see the wood of where it used to be. Okay, there we go. Ooh, that's a lot of mud. Oops. Just stepped toe deep in mud there. Ah, great. That sucks. Oh, anyway, here it is up front. Alright, here is the South Sudbury Station. Little building right here, cute little thing. This is where the passengers used to wait inside, but looks like it is completely vacant of anything. I just see a blowtorch and some paint cans. Got these old little track switchers here. It's even got a nice little front door. Looks like a security camera even. Alright, so the tracks are kinda still here. Here's some wood for them going across. And there is a rail right here, and kind of a nice little treat discovery over here. We have another rail that crosses over it. So we'll be following the rail continuously down to the this direction, I believe. It's either this direction or the other way. But yep, there's another rail at this little square junction. Pretty cool. Looks like there's a path in the woods there. Looks like it might be a hiking trail now because it is kind of cleared out. The station even has the old yellow line on it. It's pretty neat. Alright, over here used to be a station called Wayside Inn. INN. Ooh, that is beautiful. Look at that. There's the tracks, all mossy and straight down the line there. That is a nice view. And I believe the station used to be located right here at the edge of the road. And the path continues down this way, but I don't see the tracks. So that's definitely a hiking trail of some kind, but yeah, I don't see signs of the station. Only see old wood from the rails. Looks like there may have been, yeah, there is another rail here on the side, but it's been taken away, and this one on the left starts a little earlier. Very nice. Alright, this is Ordway. Not sure which side of the road the station was located on, but the tracks are here. Very cool. Just burned right into the landscape with the path next to it as well. So I'm wondering if we followed this path, we might actually end up where we just were previously. Rails continue on this side with the path as well. Alright, up over here is Gleasondale. Not exactly sure where anything is here. I'm guessing it's down off the side. but there's no bridge that I can tell. Unless there is one. Okay, so I found the tracks. There they are. So I'm guessing the station or the train tracks used to come through here flat, but they built up the land here to put this road. Let's see if there's anything on this side. Nothing that I can see, but there is still an opening there in the trees. So, yep, this is definitely where the tracks went through. It's just a matter of where the station was, which I believe may have actually been right where the road is. But they raised it up on this land here. Alright, I'm here at Gleason Junctions location, and I can already see the rails up there on the hill. So I'm going to get up there and go to the location where the station used to be. Oh, that's so cool. Definitely a junction. That is awesome. Tracks just start right here. Not sure if I didn't see anything over on the other side that was obvious, but looks like there is definitely a bridge at one point, because it has to go over the road unless they dug that out. So, according to the coordinates, the station used to be located over here, so it was this track that I'm on right now. Alright, so right here. Used to be right here. So maybe it was in the middle, so it could have been either track then. That was cool. All the sides missing a rail. All the ties are sticking out. That one just keeps going down. It's even got a tree growing in one of the rails. That is cool. Alright, here is one of two stations located in Hudson. Clearly this building has been changed, maybe even tore down completely and made into something new here, but this is an optometrist now. But the station used to be right here. There was a branch off of Central Mass on the called the Marlborough Branch, so there's a brief little section there where it went off to Marlborough. And I've already visited Marlborough, it's a mouthful, before, so not going to have to do that again, but the tracks are still here. And there's another Hudson station that is on the main Central Mass branch that I will be checking out next. Alright, so this is the Assabet River Rail Trail. It was nearby at Gleason Junction as well. And this is where the old Hudson station used to be on the main line for Central Mass branch. Alright, here we are at South Bolton. Nice little stream. And the tracks are right here in the woods. Station used to be located right here. And let's take a look at the tracks a little bit. Very nice. Got some trees growing up through them, so yep, easily over 100 years old with how high those trees are. So And that's where I'm going to stop for the day. That building right there is a Holiday Inn Express. Perfect place to stop. Gonna relax for the night and continue west tomorrow morning to Northampton, starting at West Boylston. Alright, it's another crisp morning, and it's time to continue the adventure. Alright, so here is West Boylston. These tracks are still regularly used, it looks like, from the upkeep. Most likely freight. I don't think at any point I'll come across the tracks that the Lakeshore Limited uses, because that's more south of my path of the Central Mass branch. But these are clearly still used to some extent, and the station used to be located right here on the side. Alright, so here we are at Oakdale. Over here should be the tracks. Station itself used to be located right here in this opening. See if I can get in there with all this shrubbery. There we go. Yep, there's the tracks. Nice little pond on the other side, or a river. Alright, so down this path here is where Clinton Junction is located. This is the Wachusett Reservoir watershed. Hikers are authorized in here, so this is not trespassing. That gate is there to keep motor vehicles out. There's a little building here. I don't know yet if that is the station building. I'll have to see when I get to the tracks. But up here they have the railroad crossing. Like how it says, report malfunction, as if this thing is gonna malfunction. It's just a pole. Yeah, I guess this definitely is used, just seldom. Nice, it goes all the way down. All the way down that way. So I guess that's not the station building. Station looks like it was located right here on either side of this road. Even got some old rails sitting here. Real quick, one thing I forgot to mention was that Oakdale and West Boylston were part of the pre-1903 Wachusett Reservoir alignment, as stated here. And Sterling Junction was going to be the next station. However, I've already visited that in my Old Colony Lines video, part 2. So moving on now to Quinn Epoxid. The station itself used to be located right there at that residential property, but now it's been completely stripped away. I have no idea where the tracks may have used to been. I don't see any in the woods over here. I see some paths, but they could have just been hiking trails. So this is one of those locations where it's hard to tell if anything ever existed here, yet this is where it was. Alright, the rest of the stations from here forward are going to be on the main line for Central Mass Branch. Got a couple railroad crossings here, including this building right here, but that's not the station. The station itself is actually over here. Got a nice railroad crossing here as well, with the dingers still looking like they're active and the line still looking active as well. Got some nice old construction equipment, or a tractor trailer rather. This right here used to be the station platform. It's nice to see some old equipment from the days. So here was the platform and the station building for Holden. Alright, here is Jefferson. Still got the active crossing even with gates here, so definitely still used most likely by freight only. The station itself used to be located right over here. Tracks go down there on a curve and curve over that way as well. Alright, we're diverting from the freight tracks and coming back to the Mass Central Rail Trail. This is the head of the trail right here. The station is Muscapeg. Used to be located right here. And the tracks would come from this way in the clearing of trees. I'm gonna go see if there are any tracks remaining. Yep, not rails. Alright, just learned that the last location I was at is pronounced Mashopauge from my Google Maps, so not Muscapeg, but Mashopauge. Okay, nice peaceful area here. Continuing on the Mass Central Rail Trail at the Ware River watershed. Down this path just a little bit is where the station of Rutland used to be located. Oh, wait, no, actually, no, I'm going the wrong way. It's over this way. Alright, so I'm across the road, up about 200 feet. The Rutland Station apparently used to be located right up here. Looks like there's been some definite changes to the landscape here. It's barbed wire because this is private property now. But yeah, I'm guessing this incline mound here used to be where the track was, and the station itself used to be located right here. But clearly no signs of it anymore. And the Mass Rail Trail is over there, so close enough, but no signs of it. Alright, continuing along the Mass Central Rail Trail, over here is West Rutland in the Rutland State Park. Very peaceful. Here's the trail where the tracks used to be. Some grade differences, I'm sure, because I doubt the hill was that steep. But nonetheless, the station used to be located right here. I think this might be where the tracks actually were. Obviously with some biking ramps put in. But just looking at the way the landscape is arranged, there used to be a bridge here for the track to go over the road, or the road was dug out in the future, and the trail was then put in after. Another peaceful location. This is Cold Brook, Mass Central Rail Trail. This is where the tracks used to be. There are some other paths, but This is the trail itself, so this is likely where the tracks were, and the station may have been right here, or perhaps somewhere out here where it's more flat. And here is a little history about it. Coldbrook Springs Railroad Depot. Opened in 1887 for the Boston and Maine Railroad. So it looks like it was probably out here. Alright, here we are in Barry. No sign of the railroad or station. The only thing left is the fact that it's on a depot road. And where the station used to be is where this corporation building is now. Alright, we've found our way back to the freight line that's still actively used. Got a nice crossing with gates here. A nice old track used to exist in service. And down here, there's a small yard. Station used to be located right over here, where this fence is. Maybe on this little yard track. Could have been here too. A few options. Well, yep, this is Barry Plains. Alright, so here is a walking trail that used to be where the railroad tracks were. We are trying to find the station of Wheelwright, and the only evidence of the tracks left that I can see so far is right here in the ground as it went across this path. Station itself is in the woods back here. We got some the rails continuing right here. Station was located way back in here, I think a couple 100 feet maybe. See how far I can make it. There's an old sign. Some railroad ties. Yep. So the station, according to coordinates, is located somewhere right around here. Doesn't look like there's going to be anything left though. But yeah, that's it. So managed to find some old stuff. I think I see the platform. This might have been it right here. Yep, probably. Some old railroad ties here as well. Pretty neat. Lots of moss. Lots of old railroad ties. Alright, back on the Mass Central Rail Trail. Goes down there. This is where the new Braintree Station used to be located. Nice views of the landscape. And there's where the platform used to be. Alright, we are in tiny little Gilbertville, a village located in Hardwick. We have the tracks right over here. This is the whistle stop. It's the train station for Gilbertville. Now it's been made into a tiny little restaurant. Might want to eat here one day. It looks kind of nice in there. Yep, there's a little crossing down there. And the station platform used to be located right here. There's an old rail in the ground right here as well. And I can even see some of the ties on the ground. And there's our station title. Special little treat here at Gilbertville. Got a rail log car, it looks like. Alright, this is where. Some good freight yard action going on here. Station used to be located right here on the side. We got some freight cars in the yards down there. Alright, we got a very old railroad crossing here with a stop sign. Still has dingers though, and this looks actively used. So we're still along that same freight line, I believe. I can't get to the exact location due to it being private property and residential for that. But I will zoom into it. So down there, at the end of that bend, is where Forest Lake Junction used to be, and there's still the car marking for the number of cars to stop, the number 6 right there. So that is where the Forest Lake Junction station used to be. And there's the lake, if that is the lake. Might be another body of water. It's a nice view. Alright, this little scrapyard here is where Bondsville used to be. I believe the tracks went right along this little stretch here. Either that, or maybe they were up on that incline in the woods. I don't see any in the distance. Yep, so I believe in this section they've been torn up or buried under years and years of weathering. And here is a little freight house. Looks it's mostly abandoned, or at least the back is. As you can see, there's a lot of damage to the brick at the end there, and a lot to the roof too. These used to be freight doors for loading trucks. Maybe they still are. It's just maybe they're not keeping up with the maintenance in the back because they don't care. Alright, coming up on Canal Junction. Tracks are over there in the woods. Station location is somewhere that way. So I'm gonna have to come up to the rail here and walk over to it probably. Alright, here is the tracks. Nice and straight. Very old bridge it goes over right there. I might go check that out. The station is clearly nowhere to be seen, so I won't go over there, but this is where it used to be on either side of the tracks right there. Oh yeah. That's real old. Ooh, I'm surprised a train can be supported on this. That is so thin. Wow. I guess because it's not that long, it can support a train, but wow. I wouldn't think it. I suppose I could have driven down here, but there's a construction team over there. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't in their way, so decided to do it this way. Now, under this bridge is the train tracks, as you can see. Station of Belchertown was located just about under this bridge, so probably has to do with either that stretch of road over there, or it could have been located down here. But either way, this is the spot, and that sign facing that way could have been one of those numbered car signs to tell the train where to stop. So probably over here is where it was located. Alright, here's our next location, Pansy Park. Got the active grade crossing with the gates and everything. Station itself used to be located right here at the crossing. I'm not sure which side, looks like it could have been either, but got a nice little tree tunnel down there. Alright, here is the Norwottuck Rail Trail on Station Road. This is where the Norwottuck train station used to be. Station itself used to be located right along here on this side. And the tracks have been replaced by this bike trail. Here we are at Amherst College. The station of Amherst used to be down here off the what is now the Norwottuck Rail Trail. Let's see if I can get down there a little closer. Alright, so I made it down through some thorns, no big deal. Over here's the building. Still has a Mass Central on the sign there. Here is the old station building. Very old-fashioned. Alright, and still in Amherst, here we have the old Amtrak station. Not too long ago was it still used. It was decommissioned in 2014. The Vermonter used to come here. This is the station. So a very well-kept track still. Freight still uses this actively. It's part of the Central Mass Rail. 2014, they stopped service here. They rerouted it south of Brattleboro, Vermont, towards Greenfield and then Northampton. It used to go from here to Northampton directly. So it's fairly well maintained. It's only been about 6 years or so. I believe it was December it stopped service in 2014. And now it's a Pilates building. Alright, here we are continuing on the Norwalk branch of the Mass Central Rail Trail. A gorgeous view here, and the Berkshires in the distance. And right here is where East Hadley used to be located. Tracks went all the way through here. Alright, continuing along the Norwalk branch of the Central Mass Trail, we have Hadley, still marked as Hadley Depot here. And this is where the station used to be, the tracks right here in front. There's a couple of railroad ties still sticking out of the dirt there. This was the station platform. And now we're left with the very old and rotting Hadley Station building. Alright, and here we are at the final stop, Northampton. Got a Union Station restaurant right there, even though this is not a Union Station, but that's the name of the restaurant. Very nice old school wood. It's refreshing to see that with all the concrete everywhere. And as most of you know, this is a station that is still serviced by Amtrak today, but this used to be the end of the Central Mass MBTA branch. So the Valley Flyer and Vermonter both use this station. The Valley Flyer goes north to Greenfield, and the Vermonter goes all the way up to St. Albans, Vermont. There's another track on the outside here for freight mainly, and this one I'm sure also gets used for freight too, but this is mainly the passenger rail right here. Hard to believe that the MBTA used to come all the way out here. Maybe one day they'll do that again if they have some more high-speed rail put in, but that's the end of this adventure. I plan on doing some exploring in parts of northeast Massachusetts and New Hampshire next. So I'll be getting those. It'll be part of some extensions off the Lowell line and off the Newburyport line. And I'll be doing a video to film some Downeaster trains off of the Haverhill line where it used to go north into New Hampshire as well.